Caitlin Clark out for the remainder of the 2025 season, something we all think we knew was coming after what Stephanie White said earlier today. We couldn't be too sure until we see it for ourselves. And with this announcement from the GOAT's mouth herself, Caitlin Clark won't be returning this season.
After Caitlin Clark abruptly ended the 2025 season, the internet is spiraling more quickly than a malfunctioning washing machine. After only one of her remarks, supporters are suddenly unsure of whether to weep, riot, or launch astrological and Gatorade conspiracy theories.
You don't scroll past headlines like this one.
You better pay attention because everything just changed, it says, grabbing your brain and shaking it around.
Surprising at this point, but still incredibly disappointing. Caitlin Clark officially done for the 2025 WNBA season, as she and the Fever announced on social media. The Fever and Clark saying that she tried to get back on the floor. It appears that she just ran out of time, not able to get enough confidence back in her body as the season wraps up and the playoffs are likely about to begin for Indiana. I mean, it's a gut punch that basically encompasses an entire season.
Thus, we are looking at the potential here that the chapters in Caitlin Clark's basketball fairy tale ended far too quickly. Now sitting on the sidelines, looking like the most heartbreaking what-if in recent memory, is the girl who made even casual fans suddenly care about women's hoops and transformed every stadium into a sold-out circus. Let's not sugarcoat this either. Already, the murmurs have begun. Is this it? Could she become the ultimate one-season wonder and ruin all the excitement, records, and ESPN highlight clips with a single injury?
I'm saying this, I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling. I want to thank everyone who had my back through all the uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. The way the fans continue to show up for me, and for the Fever, brought me so much joy and important perspective. I am so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger through adversity this year. Now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in the...
Since the sports industry, let's face it, has the memories of a goldfish. When people are discussing if the 2026 rookie is the genuine deal, you move from being the basketball equivalent of the Golden Kid to being a passing mention. Clark had one spectacular season, which appeared to be the beginning of his rise to fame. She is currently trapped with a type of medical record that causes even hopeful admirers to search for athletes who never fully recover on Google. It's cruel. No matter how many shirts you sell or how many kids put your name on their bedroom wall, sports don't care. Sports only give a damn if you can consistently turn up.
Have lost so many players to injury, but obviously none bigger than Clark. And there was such a wait for this second season after her magnificent rookie season. And then, the anticipation of her possibly coming back, only for that not to happen, takes a lot of air out of the room, obviously takes a lot of energy out of the fans, and is a devastating blow for not just the Fever and the WNBA. But the good news is her career is not over. But it's a tough blow when it all comes crashing down like that. And, ever since Stephanie White's...
Moreover, Caitlin Clark isn't arriving at the court. She's displaying appearing in press conferences with meticulous assertions with wording that sounds way too similar to damage control. The atmosphere is "I'll return stronger and more resilient. Please remember me while I'm here. Disappear into purgatory for recovery."
Right, so now, I don't know who asked the question. The young lady, shout out to you. She said, hey, are you guys gonna make an announcement? Like that, I appreciate you at least. You didn't say it as blunt as I would have, but you said it. You asked the question. Hey, because now she's saying, yeah, the plan on this West Coast trip was to evaluate. How you gonna evaluate her if she never had contact? What's the evaluation? She's been able to shoot jump shots. She's been able to run up and down the court by herself with nobody touching her. What was there to evaluate? Now you're pushing it through the weekend, leading us on, having us dangling in the air.
Naturally, the trolls are having a great time. The same individuals who were unable to are unexpectedly orthopedic specialists who couldn't even spell her name a year ago. She will become the Greg Oden of women's basketball before she even receives her second paycheck, according to their predictions that she will never dribble again. That's the internet, but it's barbaric. You're entertainment in a whole other sense if you don't perform. Some athletes recover as quickly as rubber bands. Some crumble like a cookie that has gone bad. Furthermore, no one can truly predict which side Clark will settle on. That particular one, when reminding ourselves that fame does not equate to longevity, we all look to this athlete. The speed is nearly harsh. This changed. Consider it. She was destroying defenses, scoring points like a cheat code in video games, and grinning her way through post-game interviews as though she had figured out basketball itself not long ago.
There you have it, folks. My hot take from earlier this year, all of a sudden, not so hot. Caitlin Clark announced that she's going to be out for the rest of the season. Obviously, a nice little post here thanking her teammates, saying she fought back, was in the gym trying to come back. She wanted to, but Caitlin Clark not returning for the rest of the season. It makes sense considering where the Fever are at in the playoffs right now. Right now, they are making the playoffs. They're the 8th seed, so it would be the final seed there. But are they going to make much noise? Chloe Bibby just went out for the rest of the season. She was one of the...
Every time her condition is updated, it reads like a soap opera script. Will she come back? Will she continue to play the same game? Has she lost confidence? Watch next week. No longer do fans watch highlights. It's easier for them to analyze medical records than to acknowledge that they may have already witnessed her peak. Some careers don't conclude with farewell tours and applause, which is a hard reality. Some professions simply end. The issue is that there are a dozen athletes that faded into trivia questions for every comeback legend. Because, well, why would anyone remember them? Nor is the media assisting. Think pieces concerning whether Clark is overrated, whether she was the result of hype, whether this indicates that, in contrast to men's basketball, women's basketball cannot produce a superstar. It's draining, but that's the way things operate.
Clark is out for the rest of the WNBA season. She had posted this whole statement on Instagram as well as the Fever officially announcing it just now here on this Thursday evening. And there have been some talks about from the Fever staff about her potentially trying to come back, and they had kind of been trying to drag this out as much as possible over the course of this season, but there simply seems to just not be enough time in this season for them to fully feel comfortable in getting her healthy. And the message that has been sent has always been the most important thing is her long-term health. That is what the Indiana Fever.
You cannot simply be hurt. You must represent something greater, something striking, something that complements a Chiron. Her knee isn't just her knee anymore. It serves as the focal point of a discussion over the sport's future. The elephant in the room should also not be disregarded. Just one season. Before the walls collapsed, that was all she had. One season of getting selected, one incredible run, and one collection of viral clips. What are we to think of it if it is the entire resume? Was it brilliance or only a fun flirtation with fate? Short stories don't go well in sports history books. They favor sagas.
Will she ever get back to normal?
Will the injury cause her to become less of who she was before? Could the Caitlin story come to an end before the Clark era ever started? Because the answers to these questions are so ambiguous, fans are unable to stop asking them. But here's the horrible twist. In fact, her legend might become more widespread if she never returns. Consider it. Early burnout athletes can occasionally become legendary. We recall what they might have been rather than what they were.
He finally had the balls to ask somebody, hey, are you guys going to make an announcement? You said you're having a meeting. You had your evaluation on the West Coast trip. Now you're going to have a meeting. Are you guys going to let the fans know what the hell is going on? Because y'all keep collecting ticket money. Y'all keep promoting that she's going to be at this arena and that arena. Y'all keep saying that she's day-to-day. First, we heard she might be back for the Minnesota Lynx the first game we played them a week ago. She wasn't even ready for that. A miraculous ankle injury popped up.
Clark could end up being basketball's most forgotten possible tale, immortalized in time as the overpowering power that never received a follow-up. That could even make her more famous than if she had been just extremely good for another 10 seasons. Sports fans enjoy their tragedies nearly as much as their champions, which is illogical. So, this is our current situation. Once the unstoppable storm, Caitlin Clark is currently the most intriguing question mark in the world. Her injuries might be a minor setback in a lengthy and successful career. Alternatively, it can be the last sentence. No one is aware. However, we are aware that everyone is observing, pondering, guessing, and yes, secretly taking pleasure in the mayhem. And the most intriguing headline of all: what if she doesn't get better? It's not just conjecture. It's the worst-case scenario that people are always discussing in sports bars and group conversations. Imagine it. A player with a quick ascent who was hailed as women's basketball savior unexpectedly emerged as the decade's most well-known what might have be. Even casual fans will roll their eyes at the basketball gods due to the blatant irony. It's similar like presenting a gift to the world and then taking it away before anyone can appreciate it.
And to the disappointment to a lot of people, she will not play for the rest of the season. Now, what does this mean for her? Rest. Big time rest. Get healthy. That's the number one thing. When you miss a full season, it's tough to come back and not be rusty. So I think a lot of the off season is going to be spent rehabbing her legs, getting stronger, and just working towards getting back to 2026 so that she can be healthy and take on the full season.
She is the headline one moment, then she is the warning regarding overexposure that your coach brings up during practice. Let's not pretend that this viewpoint isn't attracting the attention of the media. They enjoy creating stars only to destroy them. The golden goose was Caitlin Clark. She generated viral moments, sold jerseys, and raised ratings. However, the story now turns to clickbait conjecture. All of a sudden, everyone is discussing whether or not her career is already over. Forget about recovery schedules. Drama, terror, and the possible fall of an empire before it had a chance to grow are the main themes here. This is the thing about sports fans, which makes it both interesting and brutal.
They live in secret for this.
Even though they won't acknowledge it, witnessing a celebrity struggle is entertaining in and of itself. Could this wound truly put a stop to her career? Indeed, it is feasible on paper. Many sportsmen have experienced setbacks before they even started. No matter how many hours you spend working out or how many protein shakes you consume, your body is not invincible. Certain wounds simply don't heal the way you would like them to. Additionally, all of that excitement is crammed into a dusty trophy case marked unrealized potential if Clark's body fails her.
A conversation and a agreement that would have happened between the Fever organization and I assume Kathy Engelbert and the WNBA. We don't want to mess these ratings up now. We don't want to mess those ratings up now, do we? Let's make it look like she's going to come back. So I knew there was going to be a lot of reaction today and last night, overnight. And Amber Cox, the CEO and general manager for the Fever, has released a statement on Twitter X, and it has gotten quite the response from Caitlin Clark fans.
The frightening aspect is that she has a very small margin for mistake. She has no 10 years of experience to rely on. She doesn't have a decade's worth of highlight clips, MVPs, or many titles. She just has one season, that's all. She appeared untouchable for one magnificent, unstoppable season. Her entire career may be boiled down to a highlight reel on YouTube called Caitlin Clark's Best Plays Before to the Injury if she is unable to improve upon that. Furthermore, nobody wants to be a playlist rather than a legacy, let's face it. The argument gets heated at this point. Some admirers will contend that her influence is already legendary even if she never returns to the court. The current version of Caitlin's resume is still being built, and the builders recently went on strike. It's made worse by the sports machine's speed goes on. Clark is recovering, but the league isn't taking a break. The spotlight may have changed by the time she is ready, if she is ever ready, as new players and celebrities will emerge. Sports don't wait for anyone, not even the most talented athletes. Even if one player is trapped in the trainer's room, the clock continues to tick.